Hey y'all.
Hey everybody, we'll just wait a minute
Yeah.
for everybody to hop on here. And then we're going to just jump right to it because I know a lot of y'all will be watching this in the playback. So we just want to have a little conversation here. And I know many of y'all are finding yourselves as sudden homeschoolers these days. And maybe you're excited about it, maybe you're overwhelmed with it, maybe you're somewhere in the middle. And we're just here to be a blessing, to encourage everybody, and just to take a few minutes and share some of the things that we do in our homeschool these days during the quarantine.
Yep.
So, yeah, and I think one of the things.
We should stop and wait until people actually come on here, right? Or no?
Should we stop?
I don't know. One person's on. So.
Hi, one person.
One person's here.
One thing I guess that we can just talk about is Longhorn.
Yeah.
And Longhorn, our homestead and our homeschool go hand in hand. A lot of things that we do outside for our homestead are things that really integrate well into our homeschool. And we've always had it a goal that we wanted the boys and Miss Gracie to be able to develop her homestead in some way that we could provide some type of little income stream or maybe a big income stream from the homestead. So that's always what we're moving forward to. And even if it's just a supplemental income, that's fine too, but we'll see where the Lord leads. And I know for some of my children, they have really strong passions and interests in certain things. And for some of them, cattle is one of those things that they have a passion and a love for, and want to kind of see where that goes and see where that leads. So can Longhorn and homeschool coincide together? I think it very well can. I think any passion that your child has can coincide with their homeschool, and actually it can be the driving force and the preeminence in your homeschool. Just like your love of technology and your love for videography and filmmaking and photography and tech stuff, that is really something that drives you and you're really passionate about. And I would say it's something that really makes up a large part of your homeschool, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. All right, now we got a lot of people on here. Now we got the
Hey y'all! So yeah, it's going to be different for each family. It's going to be different for each child in your family, what they're passionate about. But I am a really big believer in delight-driven homeschool, and interest-led homeschool, and child-led homeschooling. I think that can look different for each family. That can look different depending on where you live on this globe. You might have different situations and laws and restrictions and different things, but I think for each of us, we learn what we are passionate about. And if it's something that interests us, we're going to naturally want to learn about that thing. So find those things for your children. And it might be the least expected thing that you realize your child is really into. And it might be the most obscure thing, and you're like, how is this ever gonna lead anywhere kind of thing? And you never know when you say yes to something where those doors will lead to.
Yeah.
So we have always been big believers in find the things to say yes to, because you're going to have a million things that you're going to have to say no to when you're raising a child. So when there's opportunities to say yes, jump on them and do them. So should we talk about Longhorn first, or should we talk about homeschool? Okay, so let's just jump right into it, because I think everybody can. Hey Joy, we're gonna save all of our highs and buys, I think, and we're just gonna jump right into this. So a typical homeschool day in our life right now. We've been homeschooling since Goob was born, and he is 15 now. So we've been homeschooling for 15 years, and um, it has changed over the years. Seasons change, life changes. I just was joking with a friend of mine who found herself suddenly homeschooling, suddenly homeschooling, and she said she's just trying to get her bearings. They're just trying to find their groove. They're trying to find their routine. And I said, give yourself grace. This was the one advice that I got from a good friend back when I started homeschooling. She said, for that first year or 2 years, give yourself lots of grace and give more grace to your children because they're having that transition into homeschool. So that was very, very wonderful advice. Was just to take that grace. And I told her that you're going to kind of find a groove and you're going to find a routine, and then you know what's going to happen. The season's going to change. And when I say season, I don't mean the seasons outside, although the outside seasons can change your homeschool very, very much so. And I think it should change your homeschool. I think you should homeschool to the seasons. I think when it's summertime and it's warm outside, you should be outside and you should be doing all the outside things. And when it's winter time and there's snow on the ground, if you're blessed with that, I think you should be outside doing all the snow things. And I think homeschool should change from season to season, but also homeschool will change from life season to life season. And by that, I mean, you know, you might have jobs that change. You might have career changes within your marriage. You might have loved ones that come and live with you, or you might have babies that are being born, or whatever. You're going to have a lot of different seasons in life, and that is going to change your homeschool and should change your homeschool, and it should naturally change, and the Lord will direct through all of those changes, and He is going to push you beyond your boundaries, and He's going to push you outside your comfort zone, and He's going to push your children outside their comfort zone, and that's part of growth, and that's how we stretch and how we grow as people, and it's not a little cookie cutter thing. So a typical day in our homeschool right now looks like this. I get out
Crazy.
a little handy dandy notepad in the morning, and I've seen other moms do it with a little whiteboard. They have a little, sometimes there's little white magnetic whiteboards that you can put right on your fridge, and maybe I'll graduate to that because it's probably a cheaper alternative than this. But for right now, we game plan in the morning, and so if that's on a whiteboard, good on you. If it's on a chalkboard, if it's on a tablet, if it's on a whatever, get a game plan for the morning. This is what we do first thing. We game plan, and I make a list of all the things, all the important tasks that we have to get done.
It's very nice.
That needs to get done that day. Now, we have all day to do those tasks, but at the end of our 5 or 6 or 10 little tasks that we write down, I say, when we're finished these tasks today, we're going to be free to whatever. Free to go horseback riding, free to go swimming, free to have free time, free to play outside, free to do whatever. Okay, fill in the blank. You know what your child's passion is. So I always put that right in front of them first thing in the morning.
You just started doing that too. It's been really nice.
It's been really nice.
Then you actually know what you're going to be like. It's kind of nice having a checklist throughout the day, because then you're like, okay, I can just get this stuff done. And
right.
Usually I don't wait all day to do all that stuff. I get it all done as soon as humanly possible.
Yeah, it seems like, and I put down our homeschool stuff. I put down any errands that need to be done, outside chores, inside chores, whatever needs to be done.
Yeah, because is this one yours? Or that one's not ours.
No, this is my notes.
Okay, so
this is my video notes.
Those are
right
your
now.
video notes. Okay.
This isn't my. But anyway, it looks just like this, and I might graduate to a whiteboard, y'all, because I think that's kind of a more economical alternative. So yeah, tell them what is expected. Like, okay, for example, this morning I said laundry needs to get started. The dishwasher needs to get started. These are things we're all doing as a team, okay?
Yeah, it's not assigned to anybody.
No, it's not assigned to anybody.
So whoever wants to do it.
The floor needs to get swept. Homeschool needs to get done. I'm specific, I want math done. I want writing done. If I don't think there was really any outside chores this morning.
Yes, post all questions in capital letters. Thank you, Lee.
So yeah, there was just some things that needed to get done. So the living room needed to be picked up. There was just certain things. We just jotted them down. Some things we thought of a little bit afterwards. I'm like, oh, you know what? I have to get some grocery shopping done today. So just some little things. We wrote them all down, and the kids got busy with it. The bathroom needed cleaning up, and we don't rush into our mornings. One thing about our homeschool and our home is that we all like to go slow in the morning. I like to wake up and move really slow in the morning, if at all possible. I like to have a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. I like to chill out. Most mornings I like to get in my Bible, or maybe later I'll be getting in my Bible in the afternoon. I spoke to another family this week, and she said the mornings don't really work for them for Bible time because they got chores, they got things they have to wake up and do right away. They have a lot going on their farm, but lunchtime is their Bible time. That's their family Bible time. Like, that's awesome. So, so that's the first thing we do is we game plan. I highly, highly recommend jot it all down, be a team, and the kids haven't squabbled over who's doing what. I haven't heard anybody fighting over who's doing what. They just they all want to get it all done because they know when we get it all done that we can move on to the fun stuff later. And it doesn't mean that we don't relax. Like this morning we relaxed. We were watching American Pickers for a little while.
Yeah, for a little bit, yeah.
I love American Pickers, y'all. There's like so much history in that show.
There's a lot of history in that show.
So we just got to chill for a little while and do that. Okay, so that's part of our morning routine. Another big part of our homeschool is Bible journaling. And I'm just going to show you real quick a couple things with Bible journaling. We've been doing this probably for, would you say, a year now? Y'all have to go back and watch. I think we made a Bible journaling video.
Oh, okay.
But this is one of the boys' Bible journaling Bibles, and I've added tabs to it, and I'm just gonna, here, hold this for 1 second. I'm just gonna show you one. Okay, this is like a little kid's Bible journaling entry
this
right
is,
here.
James's Bible.
I think this, yeah. This is
James does the best at Bible journaling, so.
And so what they'll do is, this one is an old one that he did. It's just stickers. But I went online and I found just bulk discount stickers. It might have been from Oriental Trading. Had really cheap, like Sunday school type stickers and stuff. And I ordered a bunch that were more boyish. You don't have to have stickers to Bible journal. It makes it fun if you do, but you don't have to. And they'll just read a little bit in their Bibles every day. I don't usually tell them where or know what they're reading, the three older ones, but they'll find a place and they'll read in their Bibles, and then they will find a little verse or something, or just a little phrase, something that pops out at them, and they can highlight, they can write it out however they want to. This is just black pen, y'all. A lot of James's new entries he's been doing is just black pen, and just whatever is special to them, whatever sticks out to them. And you know what? That's cool. That's awesome. And it's a big part of our homeschool. I have a journaling Bible as well, and we'll link these journaling Bibles. I had a hard time finding a journaling Bible for boys. So if y'all find
it's all girl stuff.
A journaling Bible for boys specifically, let me know. But these are just plain King James Version Bibles, and they have the big lines on the side. These were really nice, and they are leather bound, and they were really cheap. I think I paid like $26 for these.
They're
so
sweet Bibles.
They're really nice Bibles. My Bible is here, and this is my journaling Bible. I covered it with flour duct tape because I wanted to preserve it and keep it a little longer.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And then I got the tabs. I added the tabs for the kids too in their Bibles. They have different ones than me, but I have the super girly tabs. And my Bible has has big, pretty pages that have already been journaled into it, and then it has like these little column pages. They have there's like some really, really pretty artwork in the Bible already. And then to that, I just add my own and make my own journal entries that are not crazy to brag on, but they're mine and whatever. And then I can
Those
circle.
No.
These aren't mine.
Oh,
These are already done. But I just circle and add and draw little things and write little things, and it's just awesome to have a Bible that you've really made your own. And this is just a really, really important part of our homeschool day is our Bible journaling time. And I didn't mention this, but I also picked this up the other day at Walmart, and this little notebook was really cheap, and I just thought that it was really cool. It says I can do all things through Christ. And this is my little mom notes. These are like all my things. I have my little game plan notes that we game plan for the day, but these are my mom notes. These are things that I want to get done for the day, things that I need to happen as a mom, or on the back side of the page, I'll just make an ongoing grocery list of just different things that as I think of them, I'll jot them down. So this is my game plan book specifically for mommy because I need one. So that's number 3, Bible journaling, if you're following with us. Number 4, that always happens, I try to make a priority of it whenever we get our homeschool done, is math. We do teaching textbooks for math. We've been doing teaching textbooks for math, using that program since Jude was in 3rd grade, I believe. Yeah. And I think you could even start at 2nd grade now. It's an online math program now. You can still get the DVDs, not DVDs, the CDs to put into the computer, but it's totally online now, and they're actually coming out with 4.0 soon. And that you can do on your devices and on your...
You can do the 3.0 on your devices, but it has a lot of a lot of cons to it. It's like super dorky.
Right. So the 4.0 is coming out soon, so you will be able to do it on your smartphones and your devices a lot more fluidly. But right now, it's just an online program on your computer. It's really cheap. It's really just an awesome, awesome program. It totally takes math off of your plate as a parent, and it goes all the way up to college level math. They have 2 teachers on there. One has his doctorate in math. The other one has his master's degree in math. And they just, well, you could say more than I could say about it. You use it.
They're the best math program that I've ever done. It's compared to books or anything. That would be the nice. That's the pro with using them, is that you get a lecture before every
lesson.
Before every lesson. So there's 23. There's like 30 problems in a lesson, and you get like your practice period, and then so if you get anything wrong in your practice period, it doesn't go into your overall.
Hey, we're back. Sorry. Yes, you lost us. We're back. I hope y'all are here still. Stupid phone. We're doing this on my phone, so sorry about that. Yes, we were talking about teaching textbooks, and Goob was sharing with y'all that he really loves the program. We have lots of other homeschool families that use teaching textbooks and love it. Please go check them out. If you haven't already, tell them that the Texas Boys sent you, and we're probably going to be doing some new videos about teaching textbooks as well. We love, love, love them. And it's great if you have a big family. It's great if you have a little family and you just want your child to learn. Sometimes it's nice not to be the teacher. You know, one freedom that you have in homeschool is that sometimes you don't want to be the teacher. You want to hire out, so to speak, that teaching. And you can do that. You have the freedom to do that. And that's one thing that we've very much taken advantage of with teaching textbooks, is letting them be our children's math teacher. And it does go all the way up to college, and there's phenomenal reviews on there. on all different children that have gone through it and just soared, excelled in college, done really, really well with math in college. So it's great if you have a struggling child in math. It's great if you have a child that's really fast-paced in math and you can't keep up with them. It's great. It's great for all learning abilities. It's great for the visual learner. It's great for the audible learner. It's great for the hands-on learner because it is computer. And it's great for children that have learning disabilities as well because they're only seeing the one problem at a time. And it is self-paced. And I could just go on and on. We love teaching textbooks. That is a big, big, big pro in our homeschool.
Mm-hmm.
If you have little ones and you don't have the time for your bigger ones with their math, it's great for that too. So their math program, yeah, it's all online, but they do still have a notebook. So each one of them just have one of those little black and white standard little notebooks, and that's their math notebook. And that's where they write down all their notes. I know some people are concerned, like, oh, I still want them to use a pen and a pencil or a pen or whatever. They will. They still have to work out the problems. So
Yeah.
each one of the children have a math notebook, and when it's math time, they go on the computer, they put headphones on. Super awesome to have a pair of headphones on, super concentrated. And
Or
then
earplugs, either one.
yeah, or the
Or
little
the-
earbuds. would be
Earbuds.
Great too. And then they use their little math notebook, and they can go back, they can flip back a few pages, just like if you were in school and you took notes from what the teacher said a few lessons ago, and they work out all their problems in their notebook.
Paper.
Yep.
Paper.
So that's super cool. We did the first year we did teaching textbooks, I ordered the workbook with it. You don't need the workbook. The workbook's just, it never got used. It was a waste. All you need is just a little cheapy dollar notebook from Walmart, and let that be their math notebook. Okay, number 5, what our homeschool looks like right now. History, science, interest-led studies. We're mostly doing online for all of those subjects, with the exception of high school history. For one high school student that's sitting right here. High school history, we take turns reading in this book. And this is by Rod and Staff. And it's called The Past 5 Centuries. And it's really, really awesome. It says 9th grade, but this is what would be recommended for, I guess, the beginning of your high school years. You could take this book and apply it during any high school year. Rod and Staff has several different history books. This is just the first one that I picked, and this is the beginning of their history program, and I really, really love it. It kind of comes from an Anabaptist perspective, but it really just shares a lot of church history and world history all together. So that is me and Goobs reading probably like a couple times a week, maybe once or twice a week we get into that and read that. But other than me and Goob doing that for history, other history, science, interest-led things like videography, photography, tech stuff. Rufus, as you know, is super duper into baking and cooking and all the specialty baking and cooking and building and tools and gadgets and all of that kind of stuff. That is all interest-led learning, and they do all of that research and study online just through videos and YouTube and Hulu and Netflix and you name it. They find ways to learn things, and they just have surpassed me and my husband by leaps and bounds with their skills, their life skills that they've developed. And we talk about all that all the time, me and my husband, like, how do these children, like, how do they have all these skills that we still don't have? And I think one thing is that they have time, you know, they've just had unlimited time to pursue all of these interests. So yeah, I'm a big, big fan of interest-led learning. I just think you learn what you're interested in and what you're passionate about, and that's the way life works. So number 6, one of the really important things that we incorporate into our homeschool on a daily basis is outside time. This is super duper important. If you have young children you might want to move this to the top of your list. This is seasonal. This changes with the seasons of life. And I talked to a friend this morning and was telling her her son's having trouble concentrating during his school time at home. And I told her one thing. She said he rushes through his schoolwork, doesn't really care about it. He just wants to get it done so he can get outside and do other stuff. And I'm like, well, part of that's normal. That's human nature. I mean, I rush through the things I don't like either. Like, I rush through dishes and laundry. I try to get it done as fast as I can so I can get outside and do things I really want to do, you know? Part of that's normal and human nature. And I'm like, the other part of that is that if you have a really active child, one of the things that you might want to try for your homeschool is let that kid run outside, let them go play, let them have their outside time, let them have some free time, and then maybe at lunchtime when they come back in and they eat lunch and the house chills down, then maybe that'll be their time to concentrate and learn. And I know for boys especially, I have found in the earlier years of homeschooling that has really, really helped, because they have all this energy and they really, really, really just want to do something physical. And if you try first thing in the morning to make them sit down and do schoolwork, with some of them, that was not going to be a good recipe, because they just had energy and they wanted to move and they wanted to run and they wanted to play. And later they might be able to sit down and focus. But yeah, so there's a little something. So in the afternoons, it's gardening, it's animals, it's building stuff, it's problem solving skills, it's free time to pursue all those interests, and it's outside time. It's time to swim, it's time for R&R, it's time to go horseback riding, it's time to play, it's time to build forts, it's time to run around and be silly or just relax and chill in the backyard. All of that stuff is super duper important. It's just as important as the academic stuff. If you have one and you don't have the other, you will have a very unbalanced homeschool. And the next thing that we do in our daily homeschool is prepare for dinner, and most nights dessert. So after we're outside and we get a lot of our outside stuff done and we've had some downtime, usually the boys or me will come back in and we'll start dinner prep and just making dinner. And I encourage y'all to let your kids get involved in meal prep. It's a blessing. It's awesome. They'll probably become better cooks than you, definitely better baker than me, and it's just a blessing, and it's just a fun way to bond as a family and enjoy each other's recipes and creations and different things like that. So that's what happens next. And then after that, we clean up, tidy up after dinner, and then have a little bit of chill time before we get ready for bed. And that's most of our homeschooling day. I would add in that a big part of, for our family, our homeschool is the kids' YouTube channel and Instagram account, that they really just really love sharing and interacting with the homestead community and with y'all, and sharing things on Instagram and sharing things on YouTube and editing videos and making videos. That's a big part of their homeschool as well. And one more thing that I wanted to add in to our daily homeschool that has become more of a real thing lately is this Marco Polo app. This Marco Polo app is really cool, and we've always been really pro like video chats for the kids, letting them touch base with their friends like all across the country and talk to their friends and stay in communication, but and emailing and texting and all of that kind of stuff. But this Marco Polo app is really a cool little app, and I use it with my family and friends, but the kids also use it on my phone a lot now. And they can just take a quick little video of themselves talking about whatever, and then they send it to their friend, and then their friend can respond to them with a quick little video or even a text or whatever. And it's just really cool. It's a really cool way to communicate and stay in contact. It's a really great way to stay social during this time when we're not as social as we would normally be. And yeah, do you think it's nice because it's convenient? Like our friends from Indiana can make a video and a little video, and they can send it down to us, and it can be as long as you want it to be. It doesn't store and take up memory on your phone, which is awesome.
All stores on that app.
Yeah, and it
sends like 10 times faster than a normal text video, and it sounds much better and everything. It just sounds really good.
Yeah,
it's really awesome.
So that was really cool, and yeah, you enjoy talking to your friends on Marco Polo and staying in touch and all that. Yeah, so that's been really, really cool, and that's important in homeschool life, is staying social. And even during these times where, you know, we're all a little more homebound, it's nice to stay in contact and stay social. So anyway, y'all, is there anything else you want to talk about Longhorn? I'm sorry. Is there anything else? So go ahead. Goob's gonna take it away with his Longhorn now.
All right. So where do we start with Longhorn? Tell the story of Longhorn.
I don't know. I don't have any notes on Longhorn.
No, me neither. So I don't know where to start with the whole Longhorn thing. So, we haven't really totally explained completely our whole thing, what we're gonna be doing with Longhorn and everything, our Longhorn business, really totally.
Well, go ahead and explain it.
So we sold all of our Jersey cows, as y'all know, and we just sold Nelly, so she's gone now, and we have Zach, our Zebu cow, Zebu bull, and he's going to be going June 1st. So that's very exciting. And we have all of our Longhorns picked out for right now. We have 5 of them, 5 out of the 10 or so that we are going to have in all for our herd. Only if we buy more land. Then it could get a little bit bigger than that. But anyway, so we got 1 bull, and then we got 4 cows, 4 heifers. And the 2, we believe, are right around 2 years old or so. The other 2 heifers are, well, the 2-year-olds are kind of cows, but the other 2 younger ones are 6 to 7, maybe even 8 years old, 8 months old. And then our bull is 7 months old or so. When we get him, he'll probably be 7 or 8. He's still getting weaned. So we have 2 colorful ones. Those are the ones that y'all just saw on our latest video. Mm-hmm. And their grandfather is, you can type it up on Google, Cowboy Tough Checks. And everybody in the Longhorn industry knows Cowboy Tough Checks. And I forget their mother, but her mother's pretty famous too, I believe. And Cowboy Tough Checks was the daddy. So there's Cowboy Tough Checks here, and then there's another one above that. I forget his name right off the bat. But then the son of Cowboy Tough Checks is Tough Checks. So that's the daddy of our heifers. And the mama. I always forget the mama. But our whole herd all has paperwork, and we are going to have a registered herd because it is silly and stupid in the Longhorn business to have a non-registered herd that would pretty much be go to a sale barn and pick up random Longhorn for no good reason at all.
Well,
just for beef.
Right,
much.
or just pasture ornaments, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, if people just want something pretty.
Yeah, but even if you would always, I like it.
You would be limited to pasture ornaments or beef if you got unregistered.
Yeah. But it opens up a world because it opens up. We're not doing it for this as much, but you can have your cattle, if they are registered or have paperwork, pedigrees. All of our cows have pedigrees. They can be shown at shows. So we're probably not going to be showing them at shows for right now anyway. But if people want to buy cattle for showing them, we'll have the cows relatively, if they want to. So that's why I want to breed. Okay, so this is it. I want to breed for horns and hide and kind of like body shape overall, nice body looking. But when it all fizzles down to is horns. Doesn't matter. You can have the nicest what?
I have a couple questions up here that's popping up. Okay, so was it Farmer Brad? I just saw it pop up.
Farmer Brad.
Farmer Brad, I love my minivan. So you have to talk to your wife about that and see. But we had the big giant van, and it was awesome to do farm work and to do everything. But it was like driving an old pickup truck. Okay, so and we did try out the SUVs and the minivan. We thought we were going to go with an SUV. Like something like a Suburban, a really large SUV, because people love them down here.
They look really cool.
They look really cool. They look cooler than a minivan, I will give you that.
Yeah.
But they guzzle gas like nobody's business.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, so we have 6 children. We fit very, very comfortably in a minivan. I would say if you have 6 children or less, go with a minivan. You're going to pay for it 10 times over with the amount of gas money that you save. And they run forever. Get a good one, and you're going to be happy. Get a used one. Don't spend all your money. Don't spend all your money on a minivan.
Especially if you have kids.
Don't spend $50,000 on a minivan, okay? It's a minivan. And it's
gonna get trashed.
Best day, it's a minivan. So don't spend all your money on a fancy vehicle. It's going to have kids in it. It's going to get filthy. It's going to get wrecked. It's a minivan. We have a minivan. I'm looking to replace. Get another minivan. Minivans are awesome. I'm a big proponent. One. They're comfortable. You can go on long trips.
If you have a nicer minivan like ours,
you have the little automated doors. They're built for moms. Okay, these things are. I love my minivan. And we've had all different other types of vehicles. We were even looking into a mini school bus at one point. Like, we've thought way outside the box.
That was a video that we never made.
I love my minivan.
That was awesome.
For practical, pulling in and out, zippity-doo, getting in and out of the grocery store, minivan. Minivan all day long. Get a pickup truck for your farm work. Just get an old pickup truck, get a farm truck that you can drive around. You can go pick up feed. You can haul trailers. But that's my recommendation. Get a minivan and then get a farm truck. You can get a minivan, a nice minivan, and a farm truck for less than you're going to pay in gas to fill up that SUV. So, get a limo. There's outside the box. I never thought of a limo, Mike. But yeah. What else? Somebody else was on here asking about. They have a 2-year-old and a 9-year-old, and they're really active. Any suggestions? No. If you have any suggestions for me, please let me know. We're all surviving this together. It's called parenthood, and it ain't always pretty, and it ain't always ideal, and we don't have all the answers. But I guess my advice would be have fun, enjoy the ride, learn to laugh, learn to play with them, and just enjoy your time. Don't wish your days away. Don't wish your days away, because you'll look back and you'll be like, wow, I shouldn't have wished that time away. So I know that's hard. I know the days are long, but the years are really, really short. Trust me, I know. The years are short. So hang in there and find some good mama friends and go hang out with your mama friends and have a cup of coffee and talk and laugh. Yeah, that's you. Plans and passion. Yes, that's it. We don't have any. We just enjoy the ride. You're just along for a long, crazy ride. And the person that you start out the ride as is not the person you end up as. And that's all the Lord's working. And that's how me and my husband say it all the time. I think He uses our children to sanctify us and to change us and to break us. And it's good. It's good. It doesn't always feel good, but it's good. And they're going to reveal all your ugly parts that you didn't even know that you had. And guess what? The more children you have, the more ugly parts you find out that you have. And you're going to be like, oh, wow, woe is me. So, yeah, Enjoy them. Enjoy them. Don't wish it away. I know you're not, but just reminding you. Okay. And myself. Reminding me too. Okay, go ahead. Back to Longhorn. Sorry.
Okay. So, we're going to be breeding for horns, hides, and body shape. Body, whatever. So, I was on a really good rant, and then you just had.
Sorry, Farmer Brad's having a boy.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a whole new world for you, Farmer Brad. Boys are easy. Sorry.
Piece of cake.
I only have one girl, but I can tell you, boys are very easy compared to girls. No. We love our girl. She's a sweetheart. She is a sweetheart. They're both hard in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But girls will wear you out. Sorry. Okay,
What
go ahead.
if we were like in the living room and she comes bawling, crying like she saw a ghost, and she's like crying so hard when she's trying to tell us
That
what it
was
is.
this morning. Yeah, this
Yeah.
morning. Yeah.
She's like something like she's like she was like bathtub rope or something.
Yeah,
it just
we
sounded like
did.
bathtub rope. That's what it sounded like when she was saying it, because she was bawling, crying. So we're like, what is it? Stop. Like, chill out. Like, just like calm down, you know?
Right. We were like,
And-
bathrobe?
Bath rope? What are you talking
It was
about?
first thing in the morning.
And-
Everybody else was chill. in
Yeah,
the
we were
house,
like
by the way.
half awake, and we're like, bath rope? What is it? Bathtub? Like, is the bathtub like what's wrong with the bathtub? And then we finally figured out it was bathrobe, and she wanted her bathrobe on,
Immediately.
like ASAP.
Like, it was a very
Like,
emotional moment.
yeah, I don't know
because
why,
She
but-
wanted her pink fuzzy bathrobe.
and it was right there in the middle of her room. It wasn't lost. It was like she wanted it on. So
It's a girl thing. We're still learning. So, yeah.
great Scott.
If you have any tips for me on raising a girl, please let me know.
Nice song.
She wanted her pink fuzzy bathrobe
Ooh.
right then. And it
In
was
there.
very emotional. And we jumped up and got it as soon as
I
we
know,
realized
it wasn't.
what it was.
Yeah, we're like bath rope. What is
Anyway.
she talking about?
Longhorn, yes. Texas would not be Texas without Longhorn.
No.
They're
They actually
very-
went almost extinct. Actually.
Yeah. Goop's thinking of doing a Longhorn documentary, which would be super cool.
Yeah, with a guy way smarter than me. He's
Yeah.
going to be doing a Longhorn documentary. I'm gonna film it. He's
Yeah,
gonna talk.
you know how it is, Authorized Mike, when you can't find your pink fuzzy
I know.
bathrobe in the morning, it's
This-
just not going to start the day out right. Things aren't going to be good after that. You got a pink fuzzy bathrobe, Authorized Mike?
Bet he does.
You do. It's catastrophic. It was very, yeah. The Longhorn documentary is going to be pretty epic.
I need to film it.
They have a really good neighbor that wants to film it with them, and just showing. So it's a heritage breed, I would say.
Yeah,
And
there was 3. Our neighbor across the street could tell you way more, but it came down to there was 3 herds left, like pure Longhorns left in the Texas or Mexico area around here. And it came down to then, and that's where the whole Longhorn, preserving the Longhorn came into play. I forget who it was, but they were like, hey, like, we're gonna lose them because everybody's just like breeding them with other stuff and eating them and all types of stuff, using them for doing crazy stuff. And there was only 3 herds left with so many cows in it, and they just started it all up.
so you've been really studying up on your Longhorn,
Yep.
and he's been bringing me facts like every day. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of Longhorn
Oh,
talk
there's a
going
lot.
on here.
So, anyway, we're going to have, in all, our herd is going to be 10. We're breeding for horns and hide and kind of body shape for showing if people want to show them. And we got...
And the extras will be bred
Yes.
for the freezer.
Somebody said that. Are y'all going to be eating them or whatever? Any ugly ones, they're going to be going into the freezer. So, and the name of the game is when they walk into the sale barn or wherever you're selling them or whatever, auctioning them off, you can have the prettiest looking cow with the pretty body and like real Scrappy-Doo looking horns. And then once you can have a little scrappy cow with these big giant horns walk in and it'll sell for 3 times, 4 times more. So, for me personally, I'm going to be breeding for horns mainly. That's what everybody wants, so gonna give them what they want.
Freezer
so.
for the uglies.
Freezer for the uglies.
Sad.
Very sad.
But yeah.
But anyway, and it's cool because I got like the best mentor ever to be following, and it's awesome. He believes practically health-wise exactly like us. He was, I don't know, he was a teacher and everything, but he was like one of those crazy teachers, I guess you would think. He was the guy at school that would tell the kids not to drink milk, and the kids were actually listening, and he got in big trouble for it too, because he was saying that it was like, what was he saying?
The pasteurized milk
Yeah,
at the school.
yeah,
He was
yeah.
saying that it
It wasn't healthy for him at all or whatever, and the kids were like, and he has like some fancy like sciencey name for it. There's some sciencey name for milk, and he was telling them that, and the kids stopped. He wasn't telling the kids stop drinking milk. The kids just took it upon themselves and stopped drinking milk.
And then he got in big trouble.
Yeah, he got in super big trouble for that. So. Yeah.
Public school.
Yeah, so he kind of had to zip it up there for a little
Yeah,
bit.
but he does a lot of farming techniques.
Yep. He doesn't do any Roundup. He does it all natural, so it's super neat. And you know, all the guys around here that do cattle or hay or whatever, blast Roundup on it. If it's
Sure,
when in doubt, just blast it, whatever it is. So I really like that about him. He just does everything kind of like I want to do it, so it's super neat. So he doesn't vaccinate his cows or anything like that. Now, I know if I am going to be selling, like, if I do have a cow and I'm like, whoa, she's a really good cow or he's a really good cow, and I probably want him to get showed, I will have to get it vaccinated because it will be around other cows. So
right, that's
mainly
different.
my main herd is not going to be vaccinated, but if I do want to have a cow shown or something.
Right, you have to comply with the show regulations.
Yeah. So the neat thing is that having your heifers with a super fancy name is no advertisement needed. All you need, because you have their paperwork and it says Tough Checks on it, and the one guy, that's what the guy said, he doesn't have to do any advertising. His name is there, Tough Check, Cowboy Tough Check's son, you know, bred to so-and-so.
Right.
This is his heifer. And
right.
It just goes nuts because everybody's like, oh my word, that's like,
right. It's
that's
all
their daughter or whatever.
Right. It's all the genetics.
Yeah.
Just
so.
like breeding anything.
Mhm.
So yeah. So the kids are super excited, as you can tell. They're super passionate about it. We've kind of thought about doing Longhorn at different points because our neighbors have Longhorn.
Surprisingly.
And they're beautiful. I mean, they are beautiful, and we're in Texas, and we see them pretty often. And
I thought it was going to cost so much to get in this Longhorn thing, but I learned one thing though. It's cheap to get into Longhorn most of the time. It's going to be cheap if you have some friends that know friends and everything. It will be cheap to get into Longhorn. Once they get their horns in and they're like 5, 7 years old, that's when the price goes crazy. That's when things are no longer cheap anymore. So, mainly, and the crazy thing is, this is just little, I'm throwing out facts here, but I learned that Longhorns' horns don't stop growing until they're 7 years old.
oh, wow. Okay.
So, that's a long time. And their color changes until they're like, it's nuts. Don't quote me on this, but it's like 5 years old, 4 years old. It's nuts. Like, a neighbor across the street is like, yeah, that was a red cow. It's like, now it's tiger striped. When he got it, was like red. Now it's like all like crimson, like crazy.
Wow.
How it can change, like weird.
So
oh, and the other thing is that did so much talking on Homeschool.
no,
So
it's good.
yeah,
I'm
so
enjoying the Longhorn talk.
so the other crazy thing is, and it's very hard because I'm a Jersey dude. I know a lot about jerseys, and I'm like, okay, so this girl over here, she has a
Sure.
great udder, she has a great face. So most of the time, you're gonna breed with another bull that you really like, and you're gonna look at
Sure.
that bull's mama and everything, and all their facial and everything, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's what we'll get, and you breed them, and that's what you get, you know, most of the time.
Sure.
But with Longhorn, that's not it. Like with Nelly, our little Jersey cow, she was bred with 1/8 Holstein or whatever, and she came out darker. So, but with Longhorn, it's not like, oh, I get a really, really pretty one over here, and I get a really pretty speckly one, and I breed it together, and I get like a magical, like those two binded together colors. No, you could get like a black one. You could get one. Our neighbor across the street, he once in a while, he said every once in a while, his dark red cows and his dark brown bull will give a perfectly white calf. Perfectly white.
Crazy.
It's all about the genetics that's in them. Just that's what bleeds down into the color.
That makes it really
so he says
fun.
it's just Easter eggs every time. So
you never know what you're going to end up with, and what they're born as isn't what they end up their color to be. So,
but their character will come out though, and their horns will come out, and their body shape kind of sorta.
Right.
So their character and their horns and their body shape kind of sorta.
And you'll be raising them for character. You want them to have a good disposition.
Yep.
You don't want to have any mean ones. They're going to definitely be freezer.
No, but that's the nice thing. We're starting with two calm daddies. The one across the street, I posted a photo of him on on Instagram, and I was no joke, probably 2 or 3 feet from his head. He's not he's a super laid back bull. Like if I wasn't a big sissy, I would go pet him. But and then the other bull, Tough Checks, he super calm bull. I mean, if you could almost walk up to him and pet him.
You wanted to saddle him up and ride him?
No, I wasn't like that. But no, I saw a video on that. That was kind of funny. When we first moved down here, we watched that video of somebody riding their Longhorn.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, no,
she had
nuts.
trained it to ride just like a horse. It was nuts. Yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's a good challenge, and I think the boys are really super into it. And it just gives them a little business, maybe a big business that it will become someday. And the Texas boys needed some Texas Longhorns, so they're super excited. We'll have what are you starting with now? What do you have over there?
We're starting with 4 heifers and 1 bull.
4 heifers, 1 bull. Yeah. And you're already plotting and planning for
next bull. We'll need probably 2 or 3 bulls, probably.
Yeah, eventually.
But it all depends on
how things
we
go,
have
right?
25 acres, and it sounds like, oh, that's a lot. It's not a lot, because cow needs at least 2 acres or so to graze on. So.
And 14 of our acres is hay. So we need to go light on those acres so the hay comes up. So yeah, figuring it all out. Coop's figuring it all out. We're just along for the ride. So yeah, this is my super active little boy, and this is what happens. Breeding animals, 2 or 3 bulls.
For breeding purpose?
One at a time. 1 bull at a time.
Yeah, but you might be saying, because if you're like a little family farm and you're just breeding for beef or something, it doesn't really matter if you breed, like this, just family member to family member. It's kind of like kooky.
So you're saying you'll have 1 bull on the
yeah.
property, and then you're going to use other people's bulls? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you could do that too.
Right.
And that's the nice thing. Our neighbor's right up the street, and I have 2 unrelated heifers now that I can go breed with him.
Right.
But I can do this thing that's called inline breeding, something like that, and I can breed grandfather to granddaughter, and it will not mess up the pedigree or anything. That's why I don't want to mess up his pedigree work or anything like that. But they said if you breed grandfather to granddaughter, it's fine. So with our bull, he's from War Wagon, and so he's going to breed our heifers, and 2 of them are half-sisters to him. And that's fine. If they're half-sisters, they're fine. So then those calves that are out of his half-sisters, those will be the granddaughters of War Wagon. So then you can go breed them back to him, right? But then the other 2 are not related to War Wagon or the bull. So when they produce babies, they will... I haven't figured that one out, though. Yeah. So...
It's a good thing you got a mentor.
Yeah. So...
It's okay. We're just starting.
That wouldn't be any... Yeah, that would be his granddaughters too.
Next
kinda.
project for homeschool will be Longhorn family tree. We're going to be drawing out a Longhorn family tree.
It's nice. Because you can go on pedigrees online and you can look to like the 50s and 60s and like 40s even.
Yeah, flow chart. Yeah, I think he's going to need a flow chart. He's going to need to be, yeah. Instead of diagram and sentences, we're going to be diagram and Longhorn here. So yeah, it's a lot of fun and it's a great homeschool project. Yeah, you might. I'm from Kuwait. People here are breeding camel for beauty competition festivals. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, we do. We have a camel in the town neighboring us. We went and visited that camel one day. But yeah, we don't usually see camels very often here, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of, you know, if we're gonna do it and it's doable, you know, and it's a business that the boys really want to pursue, you know, we were told to just go ahead and get the registered ones, and then this way you can raise them for horns and hide, you can raise them for the freezer, you can raise them for lawn ornaments for people that want pasture ornaments, and yeah, you could just raise them for, it's just for whatever you want. You're not pigeonholed into one thing if you have pedigrees on them. So that's what we were kind of thinking with that. And
I heard that there's no, according to our friend, there's no jerks in the Longhorn industry. So coming from the horse industry, that's mainly any horse trainer I've met or been sold a horse or a mule to has been a big jerk. So, yeah. Or a rip. They just, like, they talk too much. So, anyway.
yeah,
So we're going to see if that's true or not. But
everybody in Longhorn are good. That's because
Yeah.
they're
they're all
Texas
Texas
Longhorn.
people, so. Anyway.
All right, y'all. So I think that's it, right?
Mhm.
That's all. We just wanted to hang out, and we've been on here for almost an hour, so I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope you hit the thumbs up button. That really helps us out, and it tells YouTube that we are.
Or thumbs down. Hit
Or-
thumbs down.
Yeah, hit
There you
something. Hit a button. Any button. All right. Thanks, Plants and Passion, for hanging out. Authorized Mike.
We
Tree. Omar M. East Texas Rancher. Super cool. Thanks for hanging out with us. And I guess we'll catch you all on the flippity flip.
Alrighty. See y'all later.